mining, okay, for the industry, for the users. Okay, so today we will see a new topic. Basically, in the same introduction chapter, we will see able to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Advanced machine learning and takes data mining. So very few small points that I am going to discuss today. Your special attention is required over here. Okay, so because these things is going to be frequently used in the upcoming chapters, in the advanced chapters. Okay, so here we will see what advanced machine learning and takes data mining. So here few points that I will discuss. Those points are related to the big data and how to mine such data in a smoother way without taking a lot much computational complexities. Now here we will just come across a few points like the learning methods, unstructured data. So what it is said is basically with so many possibilities and need of intelligent data handling. For unstructured data, it demands learning methods with different capabilities to analyze unstructured data. What does it mean? Now you see, big data is not basically the composed of the structured data. It also contains a huge volume of unstructured data. If you have remember the diagram, the graph that I have shown you with the different passing of each year, the volume of unstructured data is gets injected into the internet in the World Wide Web. Okay, every day millions of bytes of data is get injected into the data, but all those data is basically what it is, unstructured in nature. It contains either the videos, emails, audio files, images, all kind of this kind of data is entered into the web. And another challenge is that this volume of data which is injected into the web are of different types. So therefore mining such data, it requires specialized skills. Okay, so the mining pattern, the mining strategy, or the programming model that you will follow to extract the textual data may not be applicable to the image data, or it may not be applicable to the like the audio or the video data, isn't it? So the based on the underlying data, the procedures or the applications that we are incorporating, that also different. So therefore, what it demands the learning methods with different capabilities. So you will design a learning method and that must be capable of handling different kinds of data in a different kinds of situation or context. Okay. Now to accommodate different conceptual, contextual and thematic features and to give most appropriate decision, traditional machine learning is not sufficient. This is what I said. Like, so yeah, if you remember the traditional machine learning algorithm, say for example a support vector machine, okay, or a decision forest. So these kind of machine learning algorithms are not suitable for the big data, not suitable for the big data. Why? Because the big data contains what? The conceptual information, the contextual information, and the thematic features. Means huge volume of features and information from varieties of sources. So in that case, we cannot employ the traditional machine learning. Another thing is that the traditional machine learning works on in-memory data. Remember one thing, traditional machine learning works on in-memory data. What does it mean? You have a system and your system has limited memory. Your machine learning applications loads data into the memory and executes the data or classify the data or analyze the data. But what happens in case of big data? You cannot load the entire volume of big data into the memory because computational power of a system is limited. You cannot load the huge volume of data onto the memory. So for that you need specialized machine learning algorithms, say for example adaptive learning, okay, or incremental learning. So in that you will fetch few volume of data and you will analyze, okay, and you will store the information. Then again you will fetch another volume of data then you will analyze and so on. Okay, so in that case, these traditional machine learning algorithms cannot be employed directly on the big data, but it has to be modified, or a specialized algorithm can be devised to handle the big data, and there are specialized algorithms to handle such kind of data. Now you have big data or the volume of data, unless until you find one association among the different kinds of data, unless until you find an association among different kinds of data, you cannot analyze and come across a decision making. Okay, so suppose you just imagine your Flipkart and the Amazon. Okay, you want to identify which brand of or which model of mobile phone is best at this moment. So what you used to do, you used to go through the reviews, isn't it? Some users have written the different kinds of reviews, and some users are given different kind of good and bad reviews. Then in that case, looking at the products, how you will identify that like this mobile phone is good and I should buy it? On what basis you identify? So suppose if you see a iPhone 12 model, okay, so in that case, you know its price tag is much more than that of the traditional Android phones. Okay, so since you are watching or going through the reviews of iPhone 12, that means you are interested to buy it. Somehow you have decided your mind to I will buy the iPhone 12. Okay, fine. But after that, whether iPhone 12 is the best phone available or is a good phone in that budget, how you will identify that thing? You are just going through the reviews. Some reviews are nicely written, some reviews are writing some kind of adverse remarks against the product. So in such a case, how you will identify? Any clues? Any idea? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So how you will identify? You want to buy iPhone 12. How you will identify iPhone 12? Yes, I should. When you will take a decision that I will buy the iPhone 12, you do not have any financial problem at that time. Okay, and you are looking for a phone to buy, and you have shortlisted iPhone 12 to buy. But on what basis you have decided? Any idea? By going through the reviews.
So firstly, we'll look at the number of positive reviews, sir.
Number of?
Positive reviews.
Exactly. So if you will see, there are given the star marks. Okay, 5 star, 4 star, 3 star, 2 star, 1 star, star marks. So then you will see what the star counts. Okay, so if the number of 5 star counts or the 4 star counts is more than that of the number of 2 star counts and the 1 star counts, okay, so then you will go for that product, and you will leave the star mark 3. You will mentally you assume that the star mark 3 is neutral, so forget about star mark 3. So if the number of star mark 4 and 5 is more than that of star mark 2 and 1, so I'll go for that product. So now what you are the Amazon has done over here for you, so you are taking a decision quickly by just looking towards the figure. You are taking the decision quickly, but do you know how many intelligence are running behind this to come across your decision? The intelligence is Amazon is able to segregate the reviews based on the star marks or based on the comments. Okay, so it's simply associating the reviews. Okay, so this review is good and this review is good because this review has given 5 star, this review has given 5 star, so I should keep it in one group. So that is called what? Association. So there is a need to find association among different themes, contextual fusion, concept modeling, representation, and processing of the context vectors. But the easy part in Amazon and Flipkart is that user is hitting some button for 5 star, for 4 star, for 3 star, for 2 star, and for 1 star. Okay, user is clicking some button. So based on the user click, the Amazon is able to save the data in its database. Okay, so user has given 5-star remark for this product, user has given 4-star remarks for this product. Okay, so Amazon is able to save the data. Am I right? Then based on the data saved, Amazon is able to segregate the reviews. But there are cases in some different websites where there is no option to provide the star marks, and the system has to understand the user remarks, and based on the remarks, system will decide whether it is a good review, whether it is a bad review, whether it is a negative review, whether it is a positive review, and what basically the review is telling is about. There is no concept of star mark, nothing is there, but from the text or from the comments that user has given, the system should identify whether this comment is a positive comment, whether the system is a negative comment. Okay, so as a human beings, we can easily identify by looking towards the grammar and looking towards the sentence formation, but the system has to be so much intelligent that it should be able to understand this, and it should associate few comments together as the good comment, it should associate few comments as a bad comments. The system should be able to understand and associate the comments together. So that is also happens in the case of big data mining. Now you see, since unstructured data keeps coming and it is huge in size, the moment you are mining some unstructured data, at the same second, millions of bytes of unstructured data is also coming to your system. So it is keep on coming, and also it is huge in size. Traditional learning technique based on a structured historical pattern does not serve the purpose. What does it mean? The unstructured data is coming. If you will write a select query on that, select star from this table and where this equal to that, so it will not work. This works on structured data, but it will not work on unstructured data. So for that, what you have to do? You have to use incremental machine learning or adaptive machine learning and advanced clustering techniques based on explorations are required to handle unstructured data. So unstructured data mining is something different, and that is the real big data mining. Okay, so it requires what? Incremental machine learning. Remember these 3 points: adaptive machine learning and advanced clustering techniques. So these techniques are used to handle the text data mining. So these are comes under what? These are comes under what? Advanced machine learning. This comes under what? Advanced machine learning. So this includes incremental machine learning, adaptive machine learning, and advanced clustering techniques. Okay. So now here I have mentioned one thing: context. Can you tell me what is the meaning of context? Exact meaning of the context. And your machine learning algorithm or the big data mining algorithm should be able to understand the data based on a context. So in that way, what is the meaning of context from your point of view? Anybody of you? Please answer. Yes.
In a particular scenario.
In a particular scenario. So the system should be able to understand that scenario. In what scenario the information is coming out? Okay. So if there is an argument is going on the social network, in a social media, in the Facebook post, okay, at the back side, the Facebook is monitoring what kind of conversation is going on, whether it is some kind of informative message, whether it is some kind of discussion about a product. Okay, so if it is a discussion about some kind of product, what kind of product is this? Whether it is a cosmetic products or whether it is an electronic products. And so based on the product discussion going on, the Facebook is used to pop up one advertisement of that product, isn't it? So therefore the Facebook is in that case the learning mechanism used under the Facebook is they are just understanding in what context the discussion is going on, and if it is an abusive post or abusive message, then the Facebook is immediately blocking that user to post such things, isn't it? So this is basically this kind of techniques which are running behind the scenario. Now what is context is basically, context refers to environmental and situational importance and positioning of data, object or document. Remember this line. Context refers to environmental, means it is related to the environment, and situational, and to a specific situation, and positioning of data, object or document. What is the meaning of this line? This is clear over here. Something that is important at one place may not be important at other place. That is why it is known as what? It is environmental. Something that is important at one place may not be important at other place. Something that is relevant today may not be relevant tomorrow. Okay, something that is relevant today may not relevant tomorrow. Say for example, just few days before there was a huge crisis and huge demand of azithromycin because of this corona pandemic, isn't it? But as soon as situation stabilized, the demand for the azithromycin is gone. So which is important in one time may not be important in some other time. And something that is very important for a particular person may not be that important for another person. Okay. So now if I will post some kind of publication related matters in Facebook, if I will post some kind of publication related matters that may not interest you, but if I will post some kind of jokes or comedy memes over there, then what will happen? It may interest few of you, and it may not interest few of your colleagues, a few of your students, your friends, isn't it? So it depends from person to person. So therefore it is positioning of data, object and documents. All these three are known as what? The subject. All these three are known as what? Subject. So context differs from subject to subject. Which is interested for one subject may not be interested for another subject, isn't it? So basically what the context does, context tries to capture this association. So now the task of the context is to capture this association, like in what context the discussion is going on, and to the what user group this discussion will interested for. So that is the main task of the context in a big data environment. So in terms of big data, if someone will ask you what is context, you will say context is this. You will say context is this. So now you will see more example. A scientist may look at some data in different context than that of a businessman. Scientist will look to some data to identify sub-relations, what is the mean, what is the median, what is the mode of the data. The scientist will be interested in that scenario. But businessman will look into that data whether I will get some profit out of the data or not. वो डेटा को मैं कहां बेचूंगा जो मुझे ज्यादा प्रॉफिट मिलेगा, उस एंगल से सोचेगा. You will not bother about the information. Hence, context is not just about the document or data, but it is also about its association with user environment or a particular domain. In what domain the context is building up? For a scientist group, the data has some different meaning. For the businessman, the data is of some different meaning. And for a layman user, the same data may have some different meaning. So this is what it is said. Context is about what? It is association between text and situation. Now see, for an example, if the word ball is used with the reference to cricket, it may refers to a cricket ball. But while you say ball in soccer, it refers to what? Football. Okay, that is even relevant to the in case of numbers. For example, if you say in the context of body temperature 37 degree, that is very high. 37 degrees Celsius, that is very high. But the same 37 in the context of marks is very low. Are you getting the difference? What is the context is basically? Context is basically what? It always pertaining to a environment, situation, to a some subject matter and the interest group. Okay. See, one more example is given over here. There are many facets of context. Many facets of context. Now see what is that? For example, every question has a context. A same question asked in different context will return different answer. Doctor asks a patient giving thermometer, tell me what is the temperature? In this context, temperature refers to the body temperature. It is too hot today. What is the temperature in that case? It refers to the room temperature. I'm just giving this examples I'm giving because what? You will try to understand like what is a context is basically. Now, here context is basically have many facets. So in this case, it is as given one example over here. Now, similarly, context can be determined based on the adjacent sentences. Now, how you will identify the context? Now, you must be thinking is like, say for example, how the mining algorithm is able to mining information from the context, from the data. Because the data mining algorithm does not have its own thinking power. Then in that case, how the data mining algorithm is able to retrieve the exact context on which the data is belongs to? You may be surprised of this. So the algorithm is able to identify the real context from the adjacent sentences. Remember this word, adjacent sentences. Now it will choose a word and it's take its previous words and the next words. From the words meaning of those words, it will try to identify in what context the information is related to. Okay. Now let us see what is text analytics and in big data. Have you all understood what is context is basically? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So now let us see what is text analytics and big data. So here what is text analytics? Like say for example, you have a lot of textual information. Now target is to gather some kind of information out of those text data for decision making. But now the challenge of the textual data is that most of the time information is partial and has some sort of biases. Okay. Some sort of biases. Now say for example, I'll give one example. Read a newspaper. Read a newspaper for 1 day, for 2 days, for 3-4 days, or watch a news channel for few days. You will feel like as if everything in the country is worst, in a worse situation, isn't it? Why it is happening? Because you are reading a biased information at that time. You are not reading multiple newspapers to gather a summary of data. You are reading just one newspaper. You are just watching one news channel. So as a result, you are getting what? A biased information. Okay. So the textual data is basically what? The biased in nature. And there are sentiments about the brands, products, news, and even about conversations. Okay. And even about conversations. So now see, for example, if I am using a Samsung mobile phone for a long time, okay, but if someone will ask me, how is iPhone? मैं क्या बोलूँगा? इस बहुत अच्छा फोन है. Now this statement which I have given कि बहुत अच्छा फोन है कि like, so this statement, this is a biased statement or this is an unbiased statement? So this is basically a what? It's a biased statement. So without using the phone, I said like this is a very good phone, isn't it? So these kind of informations are, continuously available over the internet, over the social media. And out of those false statements, out of those biases, the data miner has the target to retrieve the exact information about the product. Whether it is good or bad, that is a separate issue, but it should get the exact, the real information. So that is the challenge. So there are sentiments about brands, products, news, and even about conversations. These sentiments are floating around social media in the form of messages and conversation. This is what I said. Now the challenge is monitoring and looking at those public conversations and opinions on the social networks demands higher insights. However, you will get what? You will get the truth out of these messages if we'll go deeply within those messages. Okay. Now, the purpose of the text analytics is very clear. It is not more insight into the text, rather it is understanding meaning of words, corpus word in a given context. Remember this thing. Now you see here the context. I said it is related to a situation. It is related to a specific situation or the environment, isn't it? Now here text analytics entirely depends upon what? This context. And now how it depends, I will just tell you. The purpose of text analytics is very clear. It is not mere insight into the text. Rather, it understands what? Meaning of the words, corpus of words in a given context and with reference to the context. Okay. So the text miner basically, or the tools that you are used for the text analysis, should be able to identify the meaning of the word in the form of the context. So if it is not able to identify in the form of the context, then you will come across a separate, a different decision. You will come across a different decision or a wrong decision. Sometimes हम बोलते हैं ना कि like misunderstanding. The term the misunderstanding, what does it mean? I said something in some context, but you understood something else. Okay. So because why you understood something different else? Because you did not heard that statement or that line in the context, where I'm saying. Now you see, for example, here one example is given. He saw a scientist with a telescope. He saw a scientist with a telescope. What does it mean? It can have two meanings. Either the person has a telescope and he is watching the scientist, or the scientist has a telescope and that person saw that scientist are having a telescope. Okay, so it has two meanings. But as a common sense, what you will think? Most probably the scientist has the telescope, isn't it? Are you all getting my point?
Yes, sir.
What is the challenge of text mining? There is a class going on and some students are watching some monkeys outside. Some monkeys which are sitting on the that is railing of the windows. Suddenly I started shouting, why you all are watching to the monkeys when I am here? What does it mean? It means I am taking the class, why you all are watching the monkeys? That is one meaning. Or second meaning may be like this, why you all are watching to those monkeys when I am here? What does it mean? I am also a monkey and you should watch me instead of those monkeys, isn't it? So it has some different meaning. So as a text miner, that mining tool should be able to extract the exact context, in what context the statement has been given or the word or the line has been given. So that is the challenge, and this is what the text analytics tools used to do. Okay, so this is basically your text analytics, and this is what we have learned, context. And we also learn what? Advanced machine learning. What is the topic of advanced machine learning? If I will show you the syllabus here, we have covered almost every points over here. almost every points over here. Okay, and the relevant points for your syllabus that we have also covered in introduction. And next what it will come, the basically the data models, data mining and modeling, stages of data mining. So this topic also you have learned in the last semester, but we will also cover again. Okay, but your real task starts from here. But we will cover like the what is data mining, what are the different stages of data mining. Okay, crawling and web and information retrievals, current trends, these things we will learn. So mathematical models will start from this chapter onwards. Okay, so the introduction chapter is over for the big data. If you have any doubts, you can ask me the question. By the way, how many of you are present today? 20. So you are only 20 students are present. Ask your friends to be online because this time institute has taken it seriously to count the attendance. Physical attendance I could have helped you out, but in the online attendance I have been monitored by a team of members continuously. So in that case I cannot help you out. If you are absent means absent. Okay. So I am taking the attendance. Done.